Go boy! Let's go!
Sometimes some kids don't have the ability to make that transfer. Here we go. We got the open kickoff here for Jamie Hutch, and welcome to all our viewers here at Shawnigan Lake. Beautiful sunny day. And there we go. Nice drop ball stocked on by the receiver, and Shawnigan looking to spread the ball wide early. And it's in Graham Norris's hands. We get on the right-hand touchline. Steps and beats a couple of defenders, and shoots more strength and power as well. So we're going to try it again. About 10 seconds. So that is a nice transition try. Defense into attack off the turnover.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's space, and you take off there,
Unfortunately, sometimes some teams find it very difficult playing. Jamie Hodgkins with the attempt at the conversion here. Right-footed kicker. See if he can swing this around. Good nudge. And I didn't see any hands go up there, so I think he missed it there, unfortunately. I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to have a few more opportunities today.
Yeah, interesting. We're talking about the midfield there with no Will Mann at 13. It looks like Graham Norris has slot into the outside center role.
Yeah, there's a couple changes actually from last week's great win over Carson Graham. Both wingers are not available today because of an AP exam going on right now. So testing the depth strength a little bit in the back three here. Oh, ball dropped there from our receiver, Dakota Stevenson, but well recovered, not knocked on, and moving to the left here. Big hit up from Momin Elnandahiwi. He is a load. A fend, another fend. Oh, it tripped over the 22. The 22, oh, that's just fantastic skill and support play.
Yeah, I've heard Momin has been in great form recently. He's got a low center of gravity, just a real handful for the defense.
He's a tough kid, and an interesting story. He is from Egypt, where they don't play a lot of rugby. Came over here and was very much a passionate soccer player, but since his time in grade 9, has fallen in love with the sport of rugby, and he's a two-year first 15 player, starter, and is turned into quite a powerful specimen.
And a great smile to boot. He's one of those guys, fantastic personality off the pitch. You get him in the middle, though, it's all the friendliness is put aside. He's, yeah, all business.
You know, some people might say that try was a bit fluky, but actually I put it down to great support play. There was 2 or 3 boys in behind the man who made the break, and although there was a bit of a little one-handed flick on, it was flicked on to players right there in support of the ball. And there's an easier conversion from the left-hand side for a right-footed kicker to make it 12-0 very early on.
Getting 10 here.
Well, what a day for rugby, Tim. There's no better place to be than Shawnigan Lake on a nice summer day or a spring day, and a bit of rugby on the Canada pitch. Doesn't get much better than this.
No, it doesn't. It's a special venue. We remind the boys often how lucky they are and not to take it for granted. Dakota, well done off the restart there. Took the hit and made the catch. Sets up a nice platform to attack off of, running off the left-hand side, hitting the forwards up through Brenner Kalava, and switching direction. Great play here. If he can get an offload away. Unfortunately, they wasn't able to offload, but the defensive line was offside there. Nice little tactic there, changing direction, Matt.
Yeah, always keep the opposition guessing, and yeah, for sure. And another name that I heard was one to watch today is Brenner Kalava. There was 2 players singled out by some of the people who have seen the recent form of the Shawnigan team. Momin and Brenner, both really stepping up as we approach the business end of the season.
Yeah, it's perfect timing to have your big tough forwards to be actually stepping up and leading the charge. Shouldn't be surprised. Brenner is an under 18 international, so that is the expectation for his performances. He should be leading from the front. Shawnigan line out. Ooh, looked a bit crooked, but got away with it. Looks like they have a drive called here, and it's been well defended by Marriott. And here they're going to move the ball out. Jamin with a little show and go, offload to Graham Norris, and I think he's going to be just too quick to ease in for a third try.
Yeah, he brings a lot of pace to that position, doesn't he? Usually plays a lot of his rugby as an outside back, but give him an inch of space, he's going to be tough to reel in.
Yeah, well, you can just look at the body shape on him. He's been putting a little bit of time and spending a bit of time in the gym, and he's a big, strong kid. So he's able to, to push people off sometimes in the tackle situation and create that space as well. It was a nice break and offload, though, by Jamin Hodgkins to set up that try.
Yeah, you look at that, the importance of really coming up and making aggressive, dominant tackles. If Jamin was able to work his way through that tackle and get his hands free for that offload, once you've got in behind the defense, good night.
Yeah, you got that right. We're still waiting for our first opportunity to make a boom fuck call on the defense. There hasn't been a lot of defense so far. Kickoff try. 3 times. Again, a little bit easier from the left-hand side, but he pushed it wide right, which is, sometimes, I think sometimes the kicker, their head can come up, they just get out of the rhythm a little bit, but for a right-footed kicker, that should be the easier kick from that side of the field.
Back in your goal-kicking days, you would have kept your head down, would you?
Not a lot of goal kicking, Matt, but I would have tried that, yes. Whoa. Well taken by Nico Falcone, a Mexican under 18 international player. Playing open side flanker today, and a great break, but foot into touch there down the touchline. I think that's Will Mann, actually. Injured first 15 player running the touchline for us. So that's a good call by Will. Good sportsmanship, making sure that he is playing by the rules of the game, or the laws of the game in rugby.
You're commenting on Nico there from Mexico. JP Nieto here on the left wing. He's worked his way up through the ranks, and good to see him getting a start for the first 15 on the left wing.
Totally. Good kid, works hard. Just plays in a very good program, so it's difficult for it's a difficult lineup to crack. For, if you're especially if you're new to the game. You see what they do from a scrum here. Oh, it's is it Marriott? No, it's our ball. Our ball. So we've got backs all stacked up on the left-hand side of the field here. The 2 new wingers are JP Nieto and Austin McIver, one of our stronger ice hockey boys, who is a recent convert to rugby. So we'll see what he can do on the right wing. He's a big load. The boys call him Moose. Oh, scrum crumples under a bit of pressure. That's a bit disappointing. Missing a couple of front rowers right now through injury. One of them is working the camera for us, and another one who sustained a bit of a shoulder injury last week against Carson Graham.
Yeah, it's that time of the year where most high school rugby teams will have their depth tested as the season's worn on a bit and the bumps and bruises start coming out. But yeah, it gives other people an opportunity, of course.
Yeah, there we go. That's a better scrum. And here we go, moving the ball to the, short ball to Graham Norris for a hat trick of tries early on. That is, without being unkind, pretty weak defense.
Yeah, he's a handful, like we've been saying, but they made him look a bit too good on that occasion.
I don't even think there was a hand put on him there.
Yeah, interesting. If you're the captain of the Earl Marriott team, what are you saying under the sticks there?
I think you need to challenge your teammates to play with a bit of pride here. You are, from a skill and maybe even physical standpoint, outgunned a little bit here, but you can certainly play with a little more pride and passion and commitment. You you may eventually give up the try through multiple phases of just good rugby where they create the space and opportunity, but at the same time, you do have to be willing to play with that passion, come forward and make the tackle, or at least attempt to make the tackle. There's only one way, MCB, you know that well, shoulder in.
Yeah, well, we'll see here. It's a bit of a gut check for the boys, but yeah, hopefully they'll keep their heads up and just focus at the next on the next task at hand.
Shifting the ball wide here again. And there goes Graham again. Defend, ball outside to support player, Ted Champion. Down the 5-meter channel here, and Jacob, great ball. Nice dive pass from Jacob, exactly what was required there for good quick ball. Excellent play by the halfback. This time he's able to keep his feet, playing the forwards off the ruck here with a hit up and trying to play to their structure. Shawnigan not just throwing the ball around, which is good rugby. Well-coached team, well-drilled team. Kieran, just too skilled, too good. Ball back inside to Moment. Great support play. The impressive thing there, Matt, was they were playing with some structure. You could argue they didn't need to, but they did, which is impressive.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Obviously, first priority is winning the game that you're involved in, but these guys will really be developing those processes, those patterns that will take them hopefully into a successful provincials, which is nearing. Obviously.
Yeah, it's not too far away, and you know, you want to be sporting, but at the same time, we do need to be concerned with our own preparations moving forward. So, you're right; they do need to focus on doing everything right here, and regardless of what the opposition is providing them. Jamin's successful on that one. I think that takes us to 29-0 already.
Yeah, it's good to see Jamin. That was obviously a bit of a sitter right in front of the sticks, but when it gets down to the tight games, goal kicking can be the difference. And after pushing a few wide, good to get him back, get his radar back on target.
Yeah, the old adage of building the score is very important in the big games. And when points are on offer, you have to take them. So you need a consistent goal kicker. Moment. No, that was Nico. Sorry, very strong under the restart. Good solid hit up, but the ball was ripped in the tackle. Good defense there by Earl Marriott. See what they can do in attack here. Forward trucks it up, and looks like they're going to play the same direction with their backs. And we were lucky, a little bit danger of being offside ourselves. And he's coming back to the original knock-on from the first tackle, where Nico, I guess it wasn't ripped, it was a knock-on called. So it'll be a Marriott scrum in a pretty good attacking position, middle of the field, about 30 meters or so out from the Shawnigan try line.
Interesting to see. They haven't had many chances on attack here. What will they bring? Looks like they're stacking the left side.
Looks like they're stacking the left side, and we'll see what Shawnigan does defensively here. Good defense here. Good lineup here by defense. And you always, the general rule of thumb here on defense is you go +1. So if they have one attacker, you put 2 defenders, because the number 9 and the 8 can come around here. The 8 should be taken by our open side flanker, but the number 9 is tough to pick up for the defensive 8. So scrum half's got to come around here as well. That Jacobs, that's where Jacobs doing great defensive structure there by Shawnigan. And Jacob took the number 9. Perfect defense. Ball's available for Marriott though. See what they can do here. There's a couple phases they've put together. And penalty, tackler not releasing the ball carrier there. Can't go for the ball until the tackler releases the ball there. So we got the timing a bit wrong there. Good defense there, Matt, off the scrum.
Yeah, no, it was. Like you say, with a big open side towards us here, the 8, 9, 14 was always on. But yeah, handled, defused well.
Defused well with the defensive scrum half coming around. Great play. They've learned from their lesson. Unfortunately, they gave up the try they lost on to St. George's was that very move. So it's good to see that they've reacted and coached the kids how you align defensively from that. Dakota Stevenson up on the steal. Scrum halves do not like those balls. Stop back off those lineouts.
He's been prominent, hasn't he? He's received a few kickoffs, go-to guy in the lineup. For a guy who hasn't played a lot of rugby, he's developing into a really integral part of the Shawnigan forward pack.
Oh yeah, he's an athletic kid, and he's got some courage, and he's a real goer out there, big engine. Just got to learn a few things about the game. He went up with just one hand there, so there was no chance of catching that ball. And as I just said, scrum halves do not like those balls that close to your line, fired back on the ground.
Yeah, a bit of a chip off the old block. I know his dad, Greg Stevenson, did some rowing at a high level, so that's where he gets his big motor from.
Oh yeah. Participant in a couple of Olympic Games, Dad. And I think we've stolen the ball there in the tackle. Well done, well defended. Tackler released. And they're going to turn the ball into attack here. Moment down the 5-meter channel, strong fend, and unfortunately a poor offload, but a high tackle called on the defender who brought down Moment. And a quick tap and play here. Trying to nice break by Kieran Breen there. Big step.
Does he have the gas?
Number 15 is pretty quick. Good defense by number 15 to work hard and get back. And we've got a bit of a walk in here for Dakota. Good support play by Dakota and Jacob Lillywhite, the scrum half at the breakdown.
Yeah, good to see Kieran. You know, he does the sledgehammer. He's hitting it up pretty well, but good to see some twinkling feet. Just a beautiful sidestep.
Yeah, he's got nice feet for sure. He can step people. He's just got to, you know, as a 12, he can't just be that one-dimensional player, though, that just cranks it up, or even if he uses his footwork, he has to be a distributor as well. You know, if you have a 12 who can kick as well, it's just an unbelievable weapon for the attacking side. Because the defense will come up as the ball gets in the 12's hand, and if you can kick to that over that open side wing's head, there's a lot of space back there.
Yeah, not a lot of attacking kicking so far this game, but I guess they've been successful with ball in hand. So
yeah, well, 6 tries to none, 15 or so, 20 minutes in is not a lot of need for tactical play. But I would, nice kick. I think that was good. Yeah. 31-0. Yeah, it's interesting in games like this, Matt. You know, whether you should kick a bit. Just you need to practice your tactics because you're going to need to be able to use that option at some point in the game. Well, they're kicking to the other side here. Hopefully, they'll see if they can have a little better luck this time. Well taken by the fullback. And a little switch play to Kieran. Some great skill. A step. Ball inside to Ted. This is fantastic rugby. Ted using his skill. Great offload by him. Offload to Malcolm Shields, who that was a bit harsh, I think. But anyhow, the referee calls a knock on Malcolm. That was a little bit unfortunate, but some great rugby, open rugby there, some great skill.
Yeah, it's just those first up tackles. The Shawnigan boys are just bouncing off, not being put to deck, which is making it difficult for the old Marriott boys.
Yeah, Marriott is just, again, they're just a little too passive on defense. They're not taking away the time and space by just coming forward. Even if you come forward, you're making it difficult for the attack. If you sit back and wait, you're in trouble, especially with this back line.
Good attacking platform, though. Looks they got a nice deep back line. Looks like they might put some width on the ball. Yeah,
we'll see what they do here. Again, defensively, Jacob needs to come around to the short side here. Yeah, well done. You see he did, takes away that play and trusts his back line here to shut this down. And a nice break by the outside center. Unfortunate offload by him. He shouldn't have forced that play there, but they hold on to possession here, and they're going to come back. It's just a little bit too sloppy. The Marriott attack, they play so far behind the gain line. It's tough to gain any space here. Offside, they're up a little too quick there, the defense. Offside called on the Shawnigan defenders there on the left-hand side.
Yeah, just some breakdown in the basic skills there, wasn't there? Probably 2 or 3 occasions where the Royal Marriott boys just making life difficult for themselves. Just basic catch and pass skills not executed properly.
Yeah, basic breakdowns of skill, as you mentioned, but also, you know, it's tough to play the game when you're continually after each breakdown passing it 10 meters deep and playing from 10 meters deep. If you're on that front foot, you know, you want to play as flat as possible because that's where it makes it hard for the defense. Dakota up for another steal. And here we go. If they can shift it right here, they're going to have some space. Oh, it's got to go a bit earlier. Inside center should have shifted it earlier. There we go. Break on the wide side. There's the Moose with his first touch. Whoa, big bosh from Brenner Kalava there. See what can happen here. Oh, unfortunate. That is actually a penalty. But he's just going to call the knock on.
Yeah, we've said before, Tim, how useful it would be, or what a luxury to have a bit of a replay capacity. But going back to that lineout where we had the lineout steal, the benefit of having a Brenna Kalava who can lift, do a one-man lift, and get Dakota Stevenson up, which led to that. It's a pretty special case when you can make that happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, pushing early in the scrum, free kick penalty to Marriott against the Shawnigan forward pack here. A little bit of naive. We'll see what they do here. If he kicks for touch, it comes back here. He can't go through. Oh no, here we go. Quick tap. Give me to one of his forwards. Not a lot of trickery there though. We look to be offside again, but ball shifted here. And nicely done to the outside. JP Nieto, nice step and outside swerve by JP. And a great offload to keep the ball alive to Graham Norrison's support. Jamin with a step as well and a little offload to JP Nieto. Good presentation and support play and ball to the wide side. To the forwards, Nathan Goliath, who trucks it up nice and hard.
Look at the overlap here. It's on if they go wide.
It is about 12-2. And kicking to the wide side to a completely unmarked Ted Champion. Unfortunately knocked the ball on. That's great skill though. And great recognition by Kieran to kick the ball to space.
Absolutely. The old kick pass there. It was acres of space out there. Just not latching onto it. Was it Ted Champion?
Yeah, unfortunate stuff, but great rugby. Great confidence to try something like that, and great understanding of the game to have the vision to see that that's a great option. I think they're not going to kick any points here. They're going to put it in the line and see what they can do off their line out here. Oof.
Like you say, testing some of the weapons in your arsenal. I'd like to see maybe a catch and drive here. Get the forward pack pumping.
That was a bit of a low line drive. The right-hand winger there for Marriott could have caught that if he was a little more awake. Look at the line out here. They've got only got a full line out, but they're doing a 3-3-1 kind of alignment here. Looks like they're going to try and hit Dakota at the back. And they probably have something coming around the corner. Maybe rear wind here. Oh, not straight, unfortunately. That'll shut down that try or attempted movement. But this is where you got to try those kinds of things in a game situation. Unfortunate the throw wasn't on, but that'll happen. We don't want to give away a penalty here. Last scrum, I believe we gave away a free kick. So let's hold our discipline here and wait till the ball is put in. Deep. Oof. See what we have on here in the counterattack. Ball's kicked deep though, over 50 meters down the field. Ted shifting it to the right. Good skill. Got to go again. And we have 2-on-1. If we execute this, Graham takes a space. Give the ball, Graham. That ball should have gone. He may score here, but that was not good rugby. The ball should have gone to the winger's hands earlier. Would have been a walk-in for Austin McIver. Coming back this direction, though. Good recovery. Nico being strong in the tackle. There's Dakota again. Well played, took a big hit. And it looks like the defender who hit him hurt himself in the process. Oh, no, Dakota took a bit of a hit in the head there, too.
Yeah, we had some handbags there as well on the sideline. Starting to get a little chippy. It's, when the game, arguably is over as a contest, interesting and important that it doesn't disintegrate as tempers flare a little.
Oh, completely. We have everything to lose. If you have somebody who receives a red card and suspended as a result of poor discipline in a game that, it's just not necessary. Well, it should never be necessary, but it's not, it's one of those situations that can be a real difficult thing to come back from in the future.
Absolutely. Worrying signs here. No, Dakota's back on his feet. He's as tough as woodpecker lips, this kid.
Woodpecker lips there, MCV. Well done. I like that. Is that a Kiwi slang?
Best of the honey badger.
Oh, the honey badger. Okay. Well done. A little research done today by Matt Clinton Baker on the honey badger from Western Force in Australia. And Dakota Stevenson coming off. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Looked like he took a bit of a high shot there. A couple of teeth knocked out the other day, so it could be, hopefully it's not another trip to the dentist for Dad. Oh, I think there's some sort of cut here that the athletic therapist Jen McKinnon or Jen Massingham is dealing with on the side of his head.
So have we got there? Who's come on for Dakota?
Well, Nathan Goliath is pushed out to the side of the scrum, the blindside flank, and Kyle Billy has gone into the second row.
Great to see.
Yeah, it's good. Good to get another kid an opportunity to play at this level, so hopefully Kyle can have a good run here. Earn a little more time. There we go. Big scrum by Marriott, and Brenner was still able to control the ball at the back, although we were under pressure in the scrum. And big strong hit up by Moman, who is a bit of a drain.
Yeah, another try for Shawnigan there. I think if you were looking for positives, the Earl Marriott scrum has been probably the only area where they've competed.
Their scrum has been solid for sure. They had a couple of breaks where they got over the advantage line, but not much.
So the challenge here, Tim, is like we said, the game effectively over as a contest. What do the Earl Marriott guys do? Keep their heads up. But what does Shawnigan want to look at here? Just keeping focused, keeping their motivation.
Well, I think a few things here, Matt. I think the motivation should be for these guys on the touchline that are going to look for an opportunity to get on into this game, and then I'm sure a number of them will. And it's not only the opportunity to play in a first 15 game for Shawnigan, which is a special moment for a lot of these kids. It's something that a lot of them really look forward to. So enjoying that moment, making the most of the opportunity, but then putting their hand up and showing what they can do out there. Trying to put the pressure on the coaches to make difficult decisions when it comes time for selection of the next game. So that's a big part there. And then from a play standpoint, not getting too loose. Playing within your structures still, and playing with discipline within those structures. Not trying to be a hero.
Yeah, one of the things that also could be a challenge, just setting that challenge, is keeping that nil on the scoreboard. Pride in your goal line, and just really that's something quite special if you can keep the opposition scoreless.
Oh yeah, there's great pride in the defense, and the defense for this Shawnigan team has been outstanding. It's a real positive so far this year. Nathan is a tough kid, and he hits it up off the side of the scrum there. He's been very consistent there offside here. The ref spotted it. Brenner with a out the back door offload there attempt. Again, you got to try these things, and it was a good offload here. We're going to try and move it here. Jamin, quick tap and go to Kieran, step, dummy switch, and here we go, 2-on-1. And bad pass by Ted Champion. Too casual. But that's all right. That's, again, you got to try stuff, but that's a little bit too casual there on the pass. Didn't help JP there. A real aggressive hit up though by Nathan Goliath, who is a hard kid.
Yeah, he just does the simple things, as we said last time we were up here. Just hits the rucks, does his core rolls, and when asked to do anything else, he'll basically do it.
Yeah. Nice to see. 5-year student, played his way through all the grades here. Actually played in the first 15 last year as well. One of our stronger ice hockey players as well, and a great student and a head of his house and a school prefect as well. So a kid who is very involved in life here at the school, making the most of his opportunities at every level.
Absolutely, you wouldn't meet a more humble young man either.
No, he's a humble kid for sure. Very nice young man too. Great defense by Jacob Lillywhite. He is a good rugby player. Holy smokes.
Yeah, we talked about that last year. He left a bit of a gap when he had that serious injury. Great to see him back out there. And
totally.
I won't jinx him, but healthy.
Yeah, happy to see him out there. Arian Kochar with a nice tackle there. Marriott able to hold onto the ball for a few phases here. They're not really threatening too much, but they are playing through the phases. I guess doing what they feel they have to do in order to try and eat in some space, but a good little snipe by the halfback there. Stepped through one tackle, and the Marriott tight head prop is down. Hopefully he's not hurt too bad, because he could be a big part of why the scrum is successful. He's a big boy. I see Dakota's got ice on his ears, so maybe a little bit of a cut, or maybe the beginnings of a cauliflower ear there.
That's a badge of honor, isn't it? The cauliflower ear for you.
Yeah. Well, I'd be very proud of him if he has one.
So a big weekend of sport at Shawnigan.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's a great weekend of sport here at Shawnigan.
We've got the regatta, which starts today, and then we have the Langford Sevens, the HSBC World Sevens event happening down in Langford, just a little bit north of Victoria, where Shawnigan is very involved. We're providing a number of volunteers down there for the event, as well as celebrating 30 years of coeducation with a number of female alumnus and rugby alumnus invited to the event.
I think represented in that group are the famous Iron Ladies, the fabled first female rugby team at Shawnigan, and that's what a moment of pride it will be for them to be recognized and be right in the center of the action there.
Yeah, they'll be. I believe they're going to be brought on the field, as well as current first 15 captains for both our boys and girls teams. So Maria Guadarrama from the girls and Kieran Breen will both come out and be interviewed on the field, and again, in our support of Rugby Canada. Speaking of Rugby Canada, Jeff Williams, head coach of the first 15, is the head coach also of the Rugby Canada under-20 men's team, and they are going to be playing two very important upcoming test matches against the United States under-20 side right here at Shawnigan, June 4th and June 8th. So that's exciting for everybody to wait and see, and hopefully we'll have an alumnus or two on that side.
Well, here we go. Like you said, one of the anchors of the successful Marriott scrum has just departed. We'll see what sort of impact that has on the set piece here.
Yeah.
Oh, one against the head, maybe not much.
Yeah. Oh, knock on there. Two knock-ons. First knock-on against Marriott, and then unfortunately Kieran knocked it on the attempted pickup. And so it'll be a Shawnigan scrum for the first knock-on. The midfield scrum, one of the best attacking platforms in rugby, so we'll see what we can do from this.
Yeah, tasty looking blind side, although it looks like they've split their backs.
Yeah, they are. And they've stacked the 10 and 15 in behind the scrum here, which is an interesting shape here, giving you the ability to go either way and make it very difficult for the defense.
You'd pick probably hit Graham North here with a bit of space. And
well, we have a 3-on-1 here with to the left. Their 10 is creeping over though. Brenner picking and going from the base of the scrum. And Moman in support. Again, a strong fend and hit up. It's going to stay in bounds here. Well done, Moman. And playing the forwards off the ruck to the right-hand side here to create a bit of space. And we have a 2-on-0 if we come back down the short side, but no communication there. Shawnigan attackers doing a good job of reloading on the short side there, providing that opportunity if need be. But the option was to go to the wide side, called by the fly half, Jamin Hodgkins. Playing the forwards again, playing some nice structure here. Probably don't need to use their forwards, but it's good that they are. Jamin, there we go. Oh. Woman makes a handling mistake there, and that is class.
The bounce of the rugby ball, eh? It was an intelligent option after a bit of a disjointed, messy section of play, so why not? And the ball, the rugby ball does funny things. Worked for Jamin there.
Yeah, great skill. Here comes Dakota Stevenson, so he's not looking too good. So he's walking off with his dad, and not too sure. Maybe he's got to go for a couple stitches or something. That's halftime, and I believe that's 50-0 at the half. So we're trying to actually find out from the league the protocol and the tiebreaker here in this BC Premier League. We don't want to be unsportsmanlike here, but one of the protocols may be a points differential, which is why it's important for Shawnigan to make sure that they do put some points on the board here.
Yeah, well, they have done just that over the first half. Some good individual efforts, but I couldn't agree more, Tim. I think that just playing to their structures and playing good, intelligent rugby, manipulating the defense to create the space and getting the ball to that space. It's a simple game when done well.
She's a hot one, Elio.
Oh yeah, burning up here.
Possible concussion.
He didn't know what happened. Remember what happened.
Oh really?
Yeah, in warm up he got hit by like, you know, and didn't know where he was or
What day
what
it
month it was or what day it was.
You didn't know, like,
He didn't know if the game was over or not before it started. That's super scary. Yeah.
That's why I don't like Ray-Bans. You know I don't like Ray-Bans like that. I don't like any sunglasses. Where is it now? Archive it? Archive it. Why are you getting so offended? You're a liar. I didn't see. Where? I don't remember. It's not on your feed right now. I literally took it out like a week ago. Liar. I did. I did. Go sit over there with your case. There's no case for getting. Yes, there is. Hey, oh, what's up? Yeah. Is he there? Yeah. Yeah. This is my favorite one. Fair enough. Okay.
Let's go!
I was here before you. I was in this school. That's so
Boys, no, I can't get to either of them. I just called them both. They're not answering. But Walter again, Andrew. Kim, what's your name? Okay, halftime is just about over here at Shawnigan Lake, and both teams will be feeling the heat a bit here. It's 50-0 at the half for Shawnigan, and Shawnigan is desperately trying to get a hold of a few people here to find out the tie-breaking protocol so that they can depower as much as possible, trying to make it sporting, but not having much luck here.
Yeah, on a different note there, Tim, I don't recognize the ref. He's got a hot colored jersey, but I don't recognize the face. But he's done a particularly good job, I think, in managing this game so far.
Yeah, he's actually from Nova Scotia. He's an international ref. He's out here to work at the International Sevens this weekend. So a referee of a high standard at the game, which is great. And it's nice to have refs at this level, especially in a game that potentially could get out of control. That's a nice restart kick. Ooh, and knocked on by Brenner Carava. But it was a great restart, but nobody really under it from Royal Marriott. But they do get the scrum.
Yeah, towering kick, and yeah, Brenner would probably want to take that one back, have another crack. Replay.
Looks like there's a couple of very young, inexperienced players that are going to be going in for Shawnigan, which is great by the coaches to give these kids an opportunity. Marriott scrum here, left-hand scrum on the 5-meter line. Backs are lined out wide to the right-hand side of the scrum here. And a big scrum for Shawnigan, blowing them back. Pick and go by the Marriott forwards. And the ball is gone, and look at that defensive pressure coming forward here. Good tackle by Jamin, and oh, they were lucky the ball's out there. Marriott was lucky that ball wasn't stolen. It was a bit unprotected. And the turnover ball there, and ball is quickly put into space. And another try for Graham Norris.
Oh yeah, against the run here, it looked like the Earl Marriott boys had been obviously told by their coach to hit a few forwards off the rocks, get a bit of go for it, and the plan was going well until a bit of a soft turnover, and there they are underneath their own sticks again.
Yep, yeah, I know, it was good. It was good, nice try, and there's about at least 3 subs coming on here, so good shift for Arian Kochar in the front row there, and coming off, and looks like Nico Falcone is coming off, who's an outstanding flanker, and looks like Graham Norris, who's scored 4 tries already today, is also being pulled off, who has done a good job today.
Yeah, all 3 really contributed to the game, and big shoes to fill, but like we've been saying all along, good opportunity for some of the younger, less experienced guys to get in the middle in the heat of battle here.
Yep, 100%.
Canada Field's looking in good nick. Big all credit where credit's due to the Shawnigan ground staff. It's looking fantastic.
Yeah, it does. Well, it gets a lot of use. It's not just the Shawnigan teams. We have a lot of teams that train up here, the international sides. The Spanish women's sevens team was just here, and prior to that, the Canada under 2015s women's team was here. Prior to that, the Canada under 18 women's camp was here. So there's lots of usage going on with the fields here. So yes, you're bang on there, Matt. The grounds crew do a great job here.
All right, so we want to get this kickoff right. One of those key set pieces that is so important.
It is, and kick straight out. So the options are re-kick, midfield scrum, or a line out at the half here, or anywhere line out behind the half.
Or the quick line out from half.
You got it.
Not often used, but one of those ones. Always wanted to do it. Never did.
It was the in vogue move for a little while after France famously did it against Scotland in one of the earlier World Cups. Serge Belenko scoring a famous try.
Speaking of the World Cup, it's slowly or very, very rapidly approaching in Japan, obviously, and gee, it's going to be a wide open competition, isn't it, Tim?
Oh yeah, and there's some a lot going on right now. Some of the long squads being announced by some of the countries, and it's created great debate in the rugby world, and it's fun. It's a fun time of the year. But for sure, it's going to be a very competitive World Cup. Kieran Breen just too classy.
Yeah, good to see the step again. That's twinkling footwork by Kieran Breen.
He is an athletic kid. Showed great footwork there. Beat 2 or 3 defenders. Scored right under the sticks. And I would not be surprised if we see him come off pretty soon. Looks like Jacob Lillywhite is coming off, who's the scrum half, as we were talking about earlier, who has just really blossomed. As we were mentioning earlier, he had a rough season last year with a bad shoulder injury, and he has just turned into a class player. I'm not sure who we've put on at 9 here. I hear from my men up here working the cameras that we're going to put Reese Jobbett in, Ripley's boy, and fairly new to the game, and I think Dakota Stevenson is leaving to go get checked out.
Hey, you never like to see that. It is, they're investigating the ear. You don't often see the ear injury, but looks like there's some worries with the right lobe.
Yeah, I think he took a good high whack there when the guy came in, and Mr. Doyle's spent a little time in the engine room explaining probably how to get that thing drained. Something one of you pretty boys out wide, Matt would know nothing about. Nothing like sitting in a cold changing room having a needle stuck in your ear.
Yeah, no, I'll leave that for the big fellas, the piano movers.
Yeah. No opportunities to ever playing the piano. Okay, ball kicked out straight again, and another midfield scrum. Great attacking opportunity for the Shawnigan attack here. And who else is coming in? I think that's Dylan Chaudhry coming in for Brenner Kalava. So they're really depowering here. And that's class by the Shawnigan coaching staff and just a fantastic opportunity for some of these young kids.
So what we've got here, we've got Jamin going into 9, which makes more sense. Obviously a bit more experience with the game. Maybe Breen into 10.
Yeah,
bit of a shift around.
Yeah, looks that way, yeah. Jamin off to Kieran, dummy switch, ball to Reese Jobbett, who is got some gas. We saw him show that down in Las Vegas at the Sevens. And poor old Marriott defenders, there's about 6 of them offside there, but I think they're just going to let him play on here. And that's a little bit shortchanged at the ruck by Shawnigan, but they're going to get away with it.
Kyle Billy, a nice carry there. Welcome to the game, Kyle. Ooh, don't argue by a moment. He's got the old fend out in full force.
Oh, good pass there. Ooh. See what Reese can do here. Whoa, big tackle by the Marriott defender. Well done.
Welcome to the game, Reese Jobbett.
Yeah, welcome to senior boys rugby. And a nice truck up there by Malcolm Shields. And well done. Try giving to Nathan Goliath. Well earned, well deserved for a forward who does a lot of hard work. You know, Matt, what set that up though was Jamin playing at 9, taking a few steps with the ball, and then he just pulled in those defenders in those first couple channels, which created a bit of space for Nathan to attack on the outside shoulder there.
Yeah, interesting, and like we've been saying all along, good opportunity if the unexpected happens. Good to have another option at 9. So obviously, coaches Doyle and Williams putting a bit of a plan B in place. So far, so good.
Yep. And Hunter Hamilton coming on, which is great to see him get an opportunity here as well.
Yeah, he's a big unit. He'll certainly solidify the Shawnigan scrum and hopefully get around the pitch a little as well and do some damage. Kieran Breen off. Yeah, it's wholesale changes in the Shawnigan ranks.
Yeah, you see there's some different socks out there. Those are boys that play on a variety of different levels. Teams here. The first 15 boys remaining out there are the ones with the hoop socks. There are only about 5 of them. So at least 10 reserves on there now, which is, again, very sporting of the Shawnigan staff.
Good to see Malcolm Shields there as, oh, here he is, going again, just stepping up and being one of the target runners a few times.
Yeah, that was great. Well, 69-0, Matt, at this point in the game, and Shawnigan coaching staff doing what they can to keep this fairly competitive by making those wholesale changes to give some other kids an opportunity. But you know, Marriott do have to step up a bit here.
Yeah, they're the school, like you said before, with a proud rugby tradition, and they'll want to finish strong.
Yeah, I hope so. So a nice big tackle down there inside the 2-bit when Reese Jobbett was welcome to the game. That was nice to see.
Absolutely.
Boompa, I think is the call we've been waiting to make, and there we go. Unfortunately, it was Boompa the wrong way.
Oh, well done.
Oof. That's ball stolen there. Well played by Nathan Goliath. There's a great shot. Stealing the ball in the tackle. Ball shifted away here. A couple passes from the turnover. Ted needs to move that ball. But using his ability to step and run, he is going to score under the sticks. The better rugby play would have been to pass the ball down the left-hand side to the 2 support players on the outside. But again, you know, young players, they like to see their name in the stats as well. So he did back himself, and he showed the skill to finish off. Here come a couple more reserves on.
Yeah, good to see early on that move for all the, like you say, the basic skills for the young guys out there. If there are any young players watching, starting running with the ball in two hands, Ted puts the defense, in two minds as to what he's going to do.
There is a variety of new bodies coming on here. Some of them I don't even know the names.
as the director of student life, I know everyone, of course.
Oh, of course you do. Behind Hunter Hamilton.
Testing me there. That is it Emirhan, maybe.
No, Emirhan's out there, yeah. Who's wearing number 2 here, boys?
Dylan Chaudhry.
No, not Dylan Chaudhry. That he's wearing 2 as well. Hands on the hips. No headgear.
Nick Aspinall.
Oh, Nick Aspinall.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Nick Aspinall hails from Calgary.
Well done.
Lord Tweedsmuir School before coming here, so...
well done. Good for him. Not sure where they're playing him, but he is probably going through a mixture of emotions, extremely happy and probably a little bit nervous. He'll do just fine. Whoa! Good attempt by that Marriott forward to take the ball in the fall. Ball knocked on, I guess, by the Shawnigan player after it was tipped there on the attempted kick off the restart. But that was an athletic move by the chaser there. That's, I think, the first ball they've actually gone for, which was nice to see. A little bit of vim and vigor.
Yeah, their kicker has given them every chance in the world. First time anybody's taken him up on his offer. Go and get that, fellas, and good to see somebody going for it. Good tackle there by Caio Redivo. He's of Brazilian origin and, good, hard-working loose forward. He's come up through the ranks at Shawnigan.
Totally. Oh, what do we got there? We got an injury, I think.
Yeah, a bit of a high tackle. Didn't look like much in it, but is the referee reaching for his pocket? Maybe just a quiet word. Bit careless from Kyle Billy, is it? Oh, he is. He's taking a 10-minute cool-off.
I think that's the Moose, Austin McGarver.
It is, yeah.
He's a tough kid, the Moose. He comes by the nickname, well deserved. He's a hard boy on the ice. He's just learning rugby, and he's got the potential to be a good player.
Yeah, pretty quiet today, I guess. But hasn't had a huge amount of ball come his way. But yeah, he'll be a useful guy going forward, and hopefully finishes his Shawnigan rugby career off well here. He's been sent back to apologize, I think. Yeah, that's what you do in rugby, Alston. Come and say sorry.
Yeah. Class there by the Shawnigan staff to educate him on some of the unwritten rules of the game of rugby, which is respecting your opponents as well as the referees. Not, chirp in rugby.
Yeah, I don't think this injury's come about so much from the head high tackle. Looks like he's rolled an ankle or a knee or something. So unlucky. You never want to see that, but unfortunate.
Busy day, Matt, after this. There's a big reception going on down at the Shawnigan Rowing Crew House with the opening of the renovations that have gone on there, and then also the starting of the regatta later this afternoon.
Yeah, looking forward to it. You couldn't have picked a better day, and great to see that new facility opened in style. I'm sure there'll be a few corks popped later on.
I hope so.
Game's slowed down a bit here, Tim. It's been a bit disjointed and so many new guys out of position, but hopefully we'll see if the Shawnigan boys can keep the blank scoreboard. It's good defense from the Shawnigan boys still. Coming up, keeping working for each other, a lot of communication. And here comes John Vandermerve. He's in the mix.
Oh, fantastic.
Looking very keen. Are you allowed to have fluorescent green soles as a forward, though?
I guess if he can back it, we'll see what he can do. He's a big boy, though. He's South African, so he probably likes the scrum.
Who's doing what here? Quick team meeting. Oh, Malcolm Shields is off. He's hey, you need 15 people on the pitch, boys.
Yeah, I don't know who's throwing in here. So it's when you have all these changes going on here, it can be have a bit of an impact on what you're trying to do yourselves. But we'll see. This is. I don't know how we describe this right now, Matt.
Let the images speak for themselves, I think.
Yeah, this is taking rugby back a few notches. Ooh, well, you know, good for Marriott. Nice try by the right winger. Scored a try, ran through a variety of defenders, which we never like to see. But, you know, good on Marriott. Not giving up and scoring a try.
Yeah, not your classic champagne rugby try, but good for them. They'll head across the water with the satisfaction of at least having crossed the goal line once with, what do you reckon, 10 minutes or so to go?
Yeah, at most.
But the Shawnigan boys will be interesting here. You know, they do take great pride in their defense. I know, like you alluded to earlier, Coach Williams and Doyle, and they've really put some emphasis on defense, and so that'll sting them a little bit. Interesting to see how they come back from that.
Yeah, it's good though. Sometimes it gives you, you can, from a coaching perspective, it gives you an opportunity to keep the foot on the gas a little bit in the training sessions when you do have some a little bit of a slippage there and giving up a soft try. See one of the great supporters of Shawnigan Lake Rugby and Shawnigan Lake School, Mr. Purdy there, making an appearance here on the sideline. His son, former First 15 captain, Seth Purdy, who now plays for Cal Berkeley, University of Cal Berkeley in the NCAA, who unfortunately just lost last weekend in the 1A final against Life University. So it's, we'll see what can happen here from the restart. Jamin with the restart. Short one for the forwards. Good pressure by one of our forwards there in the headgear. Not too sure who that was. Oh, I think it was Dylan Chandri. Well done, Dylan. And ball coming off here. Good, nice break. Oh, nice tackle by JP Nieto. Stepping in, putting the shoulder in. The old boompa for Shawnigan there. There we go. Been waiting to use that one for our boys.
We're a bit narrow here.
Yeah, but so is the attack. That's the only advantage there. The game is being played in a bit of a phone booth right now. Did they make that conversion, Matt?
I think they did. So 7 on the board.
Good for them. Oh, there we have another very green player. to the game. So that is a nice, strong, aggressive clean out there. And Jamin, flicks it back inside, a la Magic Johnson with a behind-the-back basketball pass. Well, nice step there by the fullback. A bit of a loosey-goosey offload there, but somebody's there. The right winger, he's the guy who scored the try. Forward pass there. Well caught by the referee. He's a good ref.
Yeah, he's had a good game. Controlled it well and let the game flow when it needs to flow, but been in charge. Here we go. Let's see what they can launch off of this. Obviously, a lot of space. What have we got in the back line? I think probably a hit up in the midfield with Nieto there, and then play off of that second face. It's Michael.
I think JP playing 10 here. How many guys do we have in the field?
Looking a little skinny in the backs, maybe.
I think we only have. Are we still sin-binned here? We only have 14 on. I'm missing a wide winger. Kick the ball deep. Dario Staples back there at fullback. Athletic kid, but new to the sport.
And he's got some work to do here.
Yeah, there he goes. Showing some. High tackle called. Good for Dario, having a bit of a go there.
Yeah, he did well.
He's quite a high-level soccer player. New to the game of rugby, but obviously has some athletic ability. Ooh. Jane with a quick tap, a little bit away from the mark, so the referee's calling him back. Some might say in a 69-7 game, let it go, but who cares? There we go. Jane with a quick tap to Van der Miller. There we go. The big South African.
Just need to let the laws of physics take over there. A bit more velocity.
Yes.
A little shout out here. I think probably the only starting forward who's still out there is Charles Ash.
Yeah, good for him. And he's new to the game as well.
He is a hard worker, just probably always in where it's deep, dark, and dirty. And fit guy, good basketball player, and seeing out the full 60 minutes.
Yep, no, it's great. This extra time is great in his development. Not only from a conditioning standpoint, but just to play the game. And, he's been playing with a lot of good players, so it's going to force him into being a little bit of a leader with some of those less experienced players out there.
Yeah, great guy. A few years at Shawnigan. He's off to University of Illinois next year.
He is, eh? That's great. His father's actually a prof there, and his father is an alumnus of the school. That was just a well-struck ball by Jamin Hodgkins, who kicked that ball about 60 meters on the touch finder here for a Shawnigan attacking lineout from the penalty here. We'll see what they have for a set move here. It'll be a little bit disjointed, so it'll probably be fairly simple, I would imagine. What do you think, Matt? What's your call here?
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks like they're going to probably hit up a forward. Is it who's the green boots there? Is it Austin?
Austin McIver here on the far wing here. Ball lost in lineout. They are coming up hard on defense, and that's a wasted opportunity for Marriott. Kick straight to touch. That's again a lack of confidence in rugby, sort of understanding there by the Marriott team. They haven't had a lot of good attacking opportunities, and that was one of them, and they kicked it away. You get that ball in hand, you want to hold on to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go, Dylan Chaudhry to feed the Shawnigan line. We'll have another go. I think they're probably lining up the same. Nieto, I think you're right. Nieto is at 10. He's got a few of his forwards that'll hit it up in the midfield and then see where they go. Ooh.
Oh, big Vandermeer. Oh, he's going to be loving this, though.
Little bit stop-start as we see at the end of this game. It's choppy.
Choppy is one word for it, for sure. Let's see the scrum here. See if the big South African can use his weight here in the scrum here and get us on the front foot here. Nice. He's a really nice kid, John. It's great to see him out there getting this opportunity. Oh, there's full time. And good solid win for the Shawnigan boys. Final score 69-7, I believe, for them. And, you know, that was, given the number of changes out there, I think that was good result.
Yeah, I think for sure. It was a one-sided contest when Shawnigan had their top team out, and they're playing some good, well-structured rugby with some good individual athleticism as well. But, yeah, full credit to the Earl Marriott boys. They never gave up and, you know, crossed the whitewash there for one try. So, yeah, rugby's the winner on the day. Rugby's
the winner. And, you know, to be fair, I'll give Earl Marriott's man of the match. I'll give to the number 14 who scored the try. He showed some great gas and determination to break the line there and score a try and break the goose egg. So well done by him. And Matt, I will ask you to give me your Shawnigan man of the match.
Yeah, there's a few contenders. I think Graham Norris looked dangerous when he got into space. Kieran Bree, Nate Goliath, Brenna Kalava. But I think probably the guy that stood out for me, handful on attack and really did some good defensive work, was Momin Al-Hindawi. He's my man of the match for Shawnigan.
Well, that's 2 in a row for a moment because he was man of the match last week as well. So that's great for him and well deserved. He's a good player and he's a tough kid for sure. Hopefully Dakota Stevenson's not hurt too bad and will bounce back from that injury. And we'll see him soon.
Well, Tim, it's been a pleasure. Until next time.
Until next time, Matt. It's been a lot of fun. Cheers.